Okay, let's jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Today, we're taking a closer look at something I think, a lot of pet owners wonder about. How old is your guinea pig, really? Like, in human years?
Ah, the age conversion question. It always comes up.
Right. And this deep dive, it's actually based on this really interesting little factoid we found in a YouTube video. Just a quick mention about guinea pig facts.
Okay.
So our mission today is basically to unpack that specific age conversion they mentioned, try to understand the pattern and, figure out what these numbers actually tell us about the life cycle of these little guys.
Yeah, it's a question that sounds simple on the surface, but I think the answer gives a pretty surprising perspective on their lives, especially how short they can seem.
Absolutely. So the video snippet, it highlights something pretty remarkable about their early life. Apparently, they go through this incredibly rapid aging phase right at the very beginning.
That's the first thing that jumps out, yeah. The source, it notes that the very first year of a guinea pig's life, it's equivalent to a huge leap.
How huge?
18 human years.
18 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. If you've got a guinea pig celebrating its first birthday, you're basically looking at a teenager in human terms.
Pretty much, yeah. Essentially a teenager. They hit that whole adolescent stage, full of energy, discovering things, all within just 12 calendar months. It's kind of wild when you think about how much development is packed in there.
That really puts the zoomies into perspective, doesn't it?
It really does.
So does that crazy pace continue, or does it, slow down after that first sprint?
It definitely slows down. Thankfully, maybe.
Yeah, probably good for everyone involved.
So the information indicates that after that first year, the aging pattern shifts quite a bit.
Okay.
For every subsequent year in a guinea pig's life, you add approximately 5 more human years. Not 18, just 5.
Okay, right. That makes a bit more sense. So let's see. Year 1 is 18. Year 2, you add 5. So that makes them 23 in human years.
Yep.
Year 3, add another 5, putting them at 28. I think the video even used that specific example, right? A 3-year-old guinea pig is roughly 28.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lays out a pretty clear pattern once you get past that initial burst.
And the video also mentioned the typical lifespan, didn't it? What we usually see for guinea pigs.
Right, it did. Generally, it falls somewhere between 4 to 8 years. That's the usual window.
Okay, so if we apply this rule, 18 for the first year, then 5 for each after, to that range.
Let's see.
A 4-year-old piggy, that's 18 plus 3 sets of 5. 18 plus 15, so 33 in human years, around there.
Yeah, about 33.
And then on the higher end, an 8-year-old, that would be 18 plus 7 sets of 5, so 18 plus 35.
Which lands them at 53.
53, so late 40s, early 50s in human terms, basically.
And this is where I think it gets really interesting, maybe even a bit profound. Well, think about that compressed timeline. They hit teenager at 1 year old. And within their typical lifespan, just 4 to 8 years, they spend a big chunk of that time in what we consider human middle age.
Right.
Or even, approaching senior citizen status for us. Even though there's still these small pets that maybe haven't been with you that long in calendar time.
It totally reframes how you might see them, doesn't it? That little fluff ball zooming around could easily be the equivalent of, a 40-year-old human.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the changes they might be going through internally, maybe slowing down a bit, different energy levels.
Different needs, potentially?
Exactly. Maybe needing different care as they reach those, later human years, even if they've only been part of your family for 4 or 5 calendar years. Remember, the source used that phrase, little senior citizen. And knowing this conversion, it just makes that image much more, vivid and maybe more real.
It really highlights the intensity of their life journey, I think. A lot of living, maturing, and, potentially aging-related issues, all packed into that relatively short window.
So thinking about all this, how quickly guinea pigs reach these pretty significant human age milestones, hitting middle age or even older within just a handful of years.
Yeah.
What does that make you consider about, the time we actually have with our pets and maybe how we approach caring for them as they move through these surprisingly rapid stages of their lives?
That's a really good question to ponder.
Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe. Squeak!